Hi, this is Rosina Starr. If you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm coming to you today to share my personal experience of how I discovered my ex was a narcissist and what exactly led up to that. I'm not going to give you the whole story. It was about a 6-year relationship that should have ended several times. And a lot of breaking points, a lot of shattering emotional times and events happened, and there was a lot I didn't know about going on the whole time with his double life. And that will be another video of the narc's double life. So I had bought a house that was 10 minutes from his. I would say we lived together about a year and a half, and it wasn't going well. Signs of his addictions were showing, and he obviously wasn't content just living a somewhat normal life because they like controlled chaos around them all the time. It was a very high-stress situation. I had gained some weight around my midsection that would never go away. I was getting, illnesses all the time. Turns out he was coercively, sexually controlling me and having relations with me that way as well, which is what I found out later on through counseling and certain therapy sessions. So that was a mind fuck, I guess you could say, in itself, and my body wasn't very accepting of it either. So when I realized I was with a narcissist, I was all alone. I had sold my house. This was last summer, and I was without furniture, without any friends. The narcissist makes everybody their friend, so obviously his friends are going to be your friends, or he will find a way to rip you away from those friends, create things to just go wrong, and nobody knows why. Everything just goes wrong all the time to make you all theirs. My mom is a narcissistic sociopath, and I realized this at the time of moving out of my house also. So I had her come and help me with the guy that's living off of her, and they have a strange relationship. It's basically like he's her pet and she's kind of just control freak, addicted to, having everything her way. And she's very much selfish to the point where, everybody else just doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what you want in the moment. If you don't exist to her, even being in the same room, she doesn't want to hear it. And she actually will physically have a reaction to you if you disturb her ignoring you, okay? So anyway, she's like, oh, well, I'll come help you move your stuff, blah, 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 all right, fine. So she then proceeds to come with him, making it as difficult as she can with the U-Haul, trying to go through my things or claim things that aren't hers because she's a taker and nothing's ever enough. And my mom's really wealthy, she's well off. And, that's what narcissists do, is all they care is about their things. So, she acted entitled to my things. I wasn't willing to give them money to help, so they took the U-Haul to dinner. That's the kind of behavior, just randomly disappearing and reappearing, not giving any kind of notice. Trying to have a teamwork effort caused her to have such a narcissistic eruption of rage. I had to send her to the car for 10 minutes as my mother to cool off and come back in the house. Boy, she really wasn't having that. Then she tried to abandon me during the move. And then I went to the bathroom and I thought, oh my God, this is why I allow men to mistreat me, is because of my mother and the way she treated me. Now, let's flash back to childhood for a minute. In 2nd grade, she had me put on Adderall, actually different kinds of pills, and it led up to Adderall about in 3rd grade for ADHD, because I couldn't sit still in my seat. I was squirming. I had some strange tendencies that were distracting to other children in the class, private school. So, my parents weren't doing so well at the time, and they were squabbling and having me as, the middle child at the time, because she was planning to have another baby. She wasn't very fond of me. A nun wrote her a letter and said, Rose, that's my mother's name, you're to let your daughter be under the Lord's authority and not yours. So teach her the right by the teachings of the Bible and how what is right rather than what you want. Well, she didn't like the nun after that. Well, I don't care for that sister anymore. And she didn't even want me to go to the school. And she wanted to take me out of the school. And so being on this medication, my dad actually ended up winning the lottery shortly after that moment. And, he went to Vegas, he came back, and my mom divorced him. She bought herself some real estate, only concerned with herself once again. She then decided she didn't like me as a child, and you could tell just by the way she treated me, she didn't care for me or my personality much. And if I had a problem, it's, well, what did you do to cause it? Well, why are you causing the problems here? You're the only one that has a problem. Why can't you just go along with things? Why can't you act as if? Why can't you be easier? Can't you just forgive and forget? Like Mommy Dearest. So my mom said I was overly demanding of her attention. I needed it all the time. It was an annoyance to her and a burden. And, she was very unavailable as a parent. She didn't want to be a mother. She didn't want to do it alone. So for 16 years, she didn't see anybody physically, but maybe once or twice, and it never worked out with the guys she picked. One was even a cross-dresser. Imagine that. But anyway, it's not even about that. It's about, I allowed my mom to treat me bad. And what our abusers do, parents or not, is they treat us bad, but they train us to come back to trust them in the same sentence, in the same foolish way of, well, do as I say, not as I do, but you still have to trust me because you still need me in your life in some way, somehow, right? And they'll make you dependent on them, emotionally or financially, to come back to them and train you, brainwash you. They instill suicidal tendencies on their children. I can remember feeling suicidal as a child, and she would just pass me along to whoever she could, whoever insurance would, pay for. Numerous counselors, care providers. A lot of them didn't even know why I was there, except that my mom didn't want to be a mother. For God, she put me on probation because she couldn't get me in trouble doing any drugs or anything wrong for beyond parental control. That is a thing. It actually is called because you don't want to be a parent. So eventually they just told her that they're dismissing me from the program and she has to pick me up and I'm not really needing to go back there. So then, she got the divorce and she shuffled me around to schools. And that's a story for a different day, but I realized the way she always minimized my pain, the way she never acknowledged me as a person, and her overreactions to things that were unnecessary, and how she woke her children up every day on purpose and said, how do I want you to feel today? Was the game she played for years. She doesn't like children that have a mind of their own. She doesn't like children that have a opinion different than hers. They take that as an insult and a threat. What's the magic word if you want something? I'm offended. These people, they have a toddler mentality. They're arrested development. I mean, this all came at a weird time in my life that I realized my ex was a narcissist because I wondered why he kept coming and going. I had left him November, I think a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now. And I did it without him knowing. I just one day stopped answering him, stopped texting him, wouldn't answer the door. And even if he damaged my things, I would ignore it. Even all the bad behavior to get attention, I would ignore it. And, he took that as a major, major injury. And if you want them to never forget about you, that's the way to leave them, is without them even knowing that it's coming. Because you can talk about that as you can walk out the door. I said, one day you're going to walk out that door and you're not going to come back. And he never believed it would happen. He never thought I could live without him. Oh my God. And here I am. And the last time I was at his house was over last summer, and he damaged my car and he wanted to dent it up, and he did put a couple dents in it, I see, but I'm not about materialistic things anyways, and it is a nice car. He's probably just jealous of it. I don't know. But their envy and hatred, and you reflecting back what a failure they are and what they're lacking, is why they hate so hard and so bad and want to destroy people. And looking this stuff up on YouTube, I watched a lot of videos. I've taken life coaching sessions myself. I've talked to doctors. I've talked to therapists. And on my journey, I'm very grateful to have found some relief from this disorder and to separate myself completely and be single for a very long time and do the inner work to heal so I don't keep attracting narcissists, because they're like sharks. If you don't do the inner work as a victim and get well, you're going to continue to attract these exact same people with different faces to take you under. And it's not a fun game to play. And it's predictable and it's familiar and it may be what you're used to, but it doesn't make it right. And it's dishonoring yourself. And dishonoring yourself later on in life will only bring you physical and mental, emotional health problems. And, with the gaslighting and the narcissist, it's you have to get counseling. You're the problem. All that stuff my mom told me all my life. And then, eventually he started doing it. And then I knew he was talking to my mother. And my mother likes to play around with people's lives for entertainment because that's what you've been seduced to. Dating a narcissist is entertainment. You're not even looked at as a serious partner, and they'll future fake you. They'll give you the outward appearance to show that they listen to you and what you say. But they're doing it. They're doing it because everybody can have some of that. It makes them look better and more normal to society. So this video was basically just to let you know about how I discovered my narcissist was a narcissist. And I knew that there were so many signs. He would come over with illnesses and just, back and forth with me, staying out all night, having to be gone once a week at this guy's house. And then it was at his cousin's house. And, I saw text messages of him, talking to him. I need girls grade A easy. Means he'll just get down with anybody. And he does it everywhere but his house because Lord knows they won't get caught, but they'll find a spot to bring supply. They won't dare get caught with what they're doing physically. If you do catch them, it's because they want you to catch them. Because they like to see the emotional pain on your face. They love to bask in your pain and suffering. That's how sick these demons of people really are inside. And so that's when everything came to me, is when I finally sold my house and he was gone an awful lot, and I knew, I was 100% sure he was seeing somebody else, and the way he was treating me was worse and worse, physically injuring me so I couldn't leave the house. It was really, really bad toward the end. And I knew that I had to get out. So anyway, I hope this helps somebody understand exactly, what an epiphany is and not a fake one. And if you have an experience, please share in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Rosina Starr. Good day.